What are 8 ways to tell Catholics and Protestants apart in Northern Ireland? Stay tuned to find out. Well, what's happening, everybody? I hope you are all doing well. And if you haven't done so already, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it, and I really appreciate everybody's comments and watching my videos so far. Thanks very much. But yeah, I've had like quite a lot of questions regarding one of my recent videos, which was a lot of like I came across like this picture in the Ulster Museum in Belfast, which was a lot of different ways, more trivial ways, to basically tell Catholics and Protestants apart in Northern Ireland. For me, it doesn't mean a difference. It was just this chalkboard, and it was saying stuff like Catholics prefer loads of bisto gravy and stuff, loads of outdoor stuff, and I was having like loads of comments regarding it. So I thought I'd do another video, but in this video, I've basically asked AI, what are the top 8 ways to tell Catholics and Protestants apart in Northern Ireland? And this is the responses it's give. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get into it. In 8th place, it says you can tell them apart by language and cultural symbols. And what it means here, it says the Irish language and Celtic symbols, such as the shamrock or the Celtic cross, are often more embraced in Catholic communities, whilst symbols like the Red Hand of Ulster or the British crown are more common and appreciated in Protestant communities. So yeah, that's the 8th one, according to AI. Again, I don't necessarily agree with them all, but yeah, this is according to AI. So in 8th place, we'll have language and cultural symbols. In 7th place, which is the most obvious one, it's church affiliation. And it does stress right at the start of this. It says it must be stressed that not everyone nowadays attends church, etc. But it says if they do, obviously, Catholics would attend Roman Catholic churches, whilst Protestants would go to a variety of churches, including Presbyterian Church of Ireland, which is the Anglican Church, Methodist, Baptist, and stuff like that. So yeah, that's a pretty obvious one. And again, I must stress this is according to AI, and I know this video is strictly about like Catholics and Protestants. I know there is a lot of other religions in Northern Ireland, and there's people of no religion. And again, I don't care really about this. I'm just putting it out there because I got a lot of questions about it. I'm open to everybody. I'm just stressing that, right? And then in 7th place was church affiliation. In 6th place, it is religious, but more likely cultural celebrations. In that regard, it means like Catholics and Protestants observe and celebrate different holidays and parades, for example. And it comes with the classic like examples here. It says Catholics are more likely to celebrate St. Patrick's Day and avoid the 12th of July celebrations. Whilst obviously Protestants are more likely to do the adverse, so avoid St. Patrick's Day and more likely to engage in the 12th of July celebrations. And there would be like the Orange Order marches and all type of thing. And also Catholics are more likely to celebrate something called the Fila, which is a celebration of Irish culture and tradition. It's a week-long event, well, a week to 10-day long event in August. So yeah, that is number 6, religious/cultural celebrations. In 5th place, this is probably a very likely one. But I do think it's changing over time. But yeah, in fifth place, you can tell the difference. This is difference by neighborhood and location. Um, and what it means by that is especially previously, but it is still more prevalent now. But I do think it's changing. Many areas and locations within Northern Ireland are associated with either Catholic communities or Protestant communities. You know what I mean? Really strongly Catholic or really strongly Protestant. And what it says here is Catholics are more likely to live in areas such as the Falls Road in Belfast, Ardoyne, or the Bogside in Derry, whereas Protestants are more likely to be found in areas such as the Shankill Road, Sandy Row, and Newton Ards Road. So there you go. That's probably a real um constant. Like you can tell if people's Catholic or Protestants. I do agree with that one by where they live. There is very um mixed places now. They're becoming more natural as time goes on, but those areas that were mentioned, I do think it would be, if not 100%, 95% would be either Catholic or Protestant in those areas. You know what I mean? So yeah, in fifth place is neighborhood and location. In fourth place, again another pretty obvious one, political affiliation and symbols. And what it says here is it often hints at their religious identity. Um, and I do think it sort of acknowledge that and agree with it. And it says here, Catholics are more likely to support the Nationalist or Republican Party, so Sinn Féin and the SDLP, whilst the Protestants, on the other hand, are more likely to support Unionist parties such as the DUP and the UUP. Um, so that's the political affiliation. But also Catholics are more likely to engage with the Irish tricolour, whereas Protestants are more likely to engage with, firstly, the British Union Jack, but also I would say the Northern Irish flag itself. So, yeah, that is probably another big sign to how you can tell people apart is their political affiliation and symbols, what they support. Now for the top three. Top three is sport preferences. And what it says here, Catholics are more likely to play or support Gaelic games, so GAA, such as Gaelic football and hurling. Whereas Protestants are often more associated with rugby, cricket, and hockey and stuff like that. And probably the most clearest saying in regards to sports is if you follow or support either Rangers or Celtic. Um, Definitely those two. Like I think it would be extremely, and I can't think of any to be honest. But it would be extremely rare to find a Catholic supporting Rangers. And vice versa. Um, Years gone by, there used to be like Catholics were more also associated with English football teams as well. But again, and Protestants associated with English football teams. But I think that's definitely changing over time, and you would like get Catholics supporting certain teams, but also Protestants supporting certain English teams. But definitely Celtic and Rangers is definitely a big pointer towards whether a person is a Catholic or Protestant, but also those sports as well. There is the odd exception in regards to sports in terms of like there has been Protestants has played GAA, and I'm sure there's Catholics that's played hockey, for example. But yeah, so the sport is a good pointer, but I would say especially football team in terms of Celtic and Rangers is the main area where you can stress. Now for the top two. And in second place, which sort of shocked me, is schools and education. Now I always do know that education here is segregated, so there is Catholic schools and Protestant schools, but I didn't think it would be this high. Um, what it says here is Catholics are typically more likely to attend Catholic or Christian brother schools by name. why Protestants may attend state or grammar schools without any religious affiliation. There is integrated schools here, but they are definitely in the minority. And I do think that is something that'll change over time. But yeah, I still think like Catholics and Protestants are more likely to be found in certain schools, as I mentioned there, with Catholics more Christian brothers, while Protestants more likely to be in like state schools, for example. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, schools and education is number 2. And then in terms of number 1, can anybody guess what it is? It is names and surnames. And it says here, some first names and surnames are traditionally more associated as either Catholic or Protestant. I've done a video of this before, and it specifically mentioned a couple of boys' names here. For example, Patrick and Seamus are more commonly associated with Catholics, whilst William or Ian are more likely to be associated with Protestants. And again, it goes on to like discuss surnames as well, and it says surnames such as Murphy and McLaughlin are more commonly to be Catholic, whereas Coulter or Kirk are more likely to be Protestant. So there you go, folks. According to AI, and I must stress, according to AI, that is the top 8 ways you can tell Protestants and Catholics apart in Northern Ireland. So yeah, what does everybody think? I agree with some of them, slightly disagree with other ones, and I do think other ones are changing over time. But what does everybody else think? Let me know in the comments. I'll see you all again soon, folks. Thank you.